From the Bungalow Studio in Nashville, Tennessee, this is the Model Connection Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Harrell.
And I'm your host, Kat Westaway.
If you like what you're watching here on YouTube and want to help promote this podcast, please hit like, follow, and subscribe here on YouTube and email me at harrellphoto@yahoo.com to learn how you can be a sponsor and keep this podcast growing. Now, let's get started with today's show.
Yeah.
Kat, it has been quite a while since I have actually seen you here in this studio.
I know. It's been
so your modeling life has been just going crazy.
Yes, it has. It's really picked up. It's lovely.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yes. Yep. Lots of travel. Don't know what time zone I'm in. Yes.
Don't know what day of the week it is.
Yep. Yeah.
So I guess that is a good thing, right?
It is. It's what I've really worked towards for actually a while. Yeah.
I'm so proud for you, and I'm glad to hear it.
Thank you. It's
You're
my
very, very
love.
welcome.
It's my work. It's, you can't get much better than that.
I know. Hey, that's what you're modeling for, right?
Right.
Okay. I was thinking about what we should do on this week's episode, and one thing that I really liked that we had done before was a modeling scam episode.
Mm-hmm.
We had so much information on the first episode that we did not get to everything. So I would like to go back, not only revisit it, but try and finish modeling scams, okay?
Yes.
So, Kat, the floor is all yours.
Thank you. Well, I know that when you are an aspiring model, when you're trying to start out, which is one of the most saturated competitive businesses, so trying to find a way in is really hard. And some people will try to use different maneuvers, different ways to try and get in, all towards just getting to something that they want to do, their passion.
Yes.
But one thing that's a guiding principle is you do not pay to model, right? You do not pay to become a model. You do not pay an agency. So that is something that I think either when I research modeling online, which I like to do, I like to look up as much as I can. There's a big hole, and what is in that hole is a bunch of scammy stuff. Like, a bunch of we can get you work. Come to our classes, come to our scouting event, and what do you know? All of it is you have to pay for, right? So it's really hard to get good information. So I am really happy that we are trying to get some clear information out to people who are either starting modeling or want to model so that they do not get caught in these traps where they're paying someone to do a job in which they cannot really put on their CV anyways, because it would not be considered legitimate by an agency. So,
right.
or a brand, right? You can't tell a brand you modeled for something when you paid to do that modeling.
Right.
That would be misrepresenting yourself. Yeah.
About the only thing that you should ever pay for, unless you have a friend in the business, are your photographs to get started with.
Exactly. And that's your first investment, and I really strongly suggest you make it a good investment. Do your research and get great digitals, great headshots. In fact, digitals you can just do on your camera. But if you want to get I did like a solid packet of almost like a portfolio to send it to my agency so they could see me in a way that I was already a model. But
Right.
that cost hundreds of dollars.
Yes,
And
it's not cheap.
no, and it's not their responsibility to pay that. That's me applying, just like you would
Yes.
pay an application fee for a college.
Yes.
So, and that's a whole career. So it doesn't, if you think about it, applying to a whole career for a few $100s, most people pay tens of thousands for college. So it was a relatively small investment, but it was tough. Yeah.
If you are really, really driven and serious about doing this, invest in it, okay?
Yeah.
Invest.
Yeah, and support your local photographers that are good and that are doing above board business and are actually good with models and have worked with models, so that you can set up a relationship. And the guy who did my first set of pictures, I went back to for my headshots, which continued to get me work and have landed me where I'm at. So it was, you start a good, fair relationship, and you can kind of ride that. And if I actually did need something one time, because my hairdresser cut 4 inches off my hair of her own volition, and I'm like, I have to redo my headshot like right now, and he did it, and I don't even think he charged me what he was supposed to charge me. But he was like so understanding that that was really a bad thing for a model, because then all of your pictures become outdated. And so it was a little bit rough, but I called him. He's actually come to my studio at my house and helped me set up lights. So yeah, invest in a strong relationship with an honest person. Yeah.
Okay. Has it changed? I remember back when I was agency
Yes.
related, they wanted all of their models to update their images every 6 months. Has
Okay.
that changed?
I think the standard for adults is like a year.
Okay.
Kids, it's multiple times a year. In fact, most of the time that they're calling for kids, they want to see a picture like that day, that week,
Okay.
with holding up a date card. So, because that's just so fast to change. But they say a headshot about every year. And I always refresh though. I'm always adding to the pool every few months, doing test shoots or adding in my brand images, because you just want to keep your portfolio fresh. Casting agents get bored, brands get bored of looking at the same stuff. And you want to, even when you're not working, you want to be working.
Yes. Always update.
Yes. Yeah. And always be in motion, be hustling, like, either, read models' biographies, or, find a photographer that'll do a TFP with you, or start a model meetup or something, so you're always networking, and you're kind of creating this triangle. One of my friends at Get Seen Studios taught me, it was just basically a triangle of like your business, your practice, and your connections.
Right.
So be working one side of that triangle all the time.
Yes. Okay, so let's get started on some modeling scams we did not get to on the first episode.
Yes. So this is if a scout would approach you, or someone saying they're from an agency, you want to use the contact information that they give you. So you want to look it up to see how it exists in the community.
Yes.
Is it Better Business Bureau certified? That would be great. Is it at its address? Have you looked at the building on the address? Like, does it look like a legitimate building that an office would be in? And now sometimes the offices are so small now because everything's being done online, and that's fine. But, if it's in the middle of a warehouse district and it has a garage door, I mean, do your reconnaissance, right? So, yes, definitely call the number, make sure they're answering with the name of their business. And then, and if you're approached by a scout, which great. I mean, that's wonderful. We'll say a little bit more about that in a second. But if you want to make sure that you are, they're referring you to a reputable agency, not just some photographer or some, name, that an agency that you could look up,
Yes.
and like Tribe or something in Nashville.
Yes.
And so you were a scout. So what was your practice when you were scouting people?
It was very difficult in a way because I always hate to actually cold contact somebody, because in this day and time, you have to be guarded at every instance. Have to be guarded with everything you do. You try to get a good rapport with whoever you are approaching. Try to start a conversation.
Yes.
And then say, and by the way, I'm working with this small agency, ex-small agency. I'm a photographer. I'm a talent scout. If you are interested, I would love to talk with you later. Here is my business card.
Yeah.
I've got some images on my phone. If you've got time, I'll be glad to show them to you.
Yeah.
Here's the phone number you can call. Check out the owner.
Yeah.
Anything you want to. You're free to do so. You mainly try to get them as comfortable as possible, and try and let them know that you are on the up and up. Okay?
Yes.
Because there are so many people out there that they will take advantage of you, and dare I say, somebody may even want to get a date with you, and they'll use that as the pickup line.
Oh, and they're not a scout.
Exactly right.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my goodness. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Whatever. That's
Yes.
ridiculous. Okay.
So you've really got to let the person that you are approaching know you are on the up and up.
Yeah. And so most talent scouts will have at least a business card, and at this point, some sort of Instagram or something.
Always have business cards with you. With the digital age and the development of iPhones, you can all of your portfolio is on that iPhone. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Back in the day, we used to carry 4x6 cards of 5x7s in the satchel. Okay.
Yes.
That was in the trunk of our cars.
Yeah.
Nowadays, everything's on your cell phone.
Yeah, which is lovely. Yeah. Although I would like to be like a retro model walking around New York City with my big, my big ass
portfolio case.
Yeah,
I've still
like
got
the huge
one.
one that would be
I've still
at
got
a place
one.
on the subway. Yeah,
Yes.
That's fun. That's really
I've still
fun.
got one.
But that was totally different, and so in some ways, it's a little bit easier now for people to manipulate the system because they can just make up an account, and
Yes.
AI images and stuff. So that's even more reason to do your research and dig down and Google them and AI them,
Yes. I told a former guest that I saw an ad on the social media recently where they were advertising you can own your own AI modeling agency. You can earn up to $100,000 per year. But you've got to invest $15,000 to get started.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That may be $15,000 you'll never see again.
Oh, for sure. Yep. Interesting. Wow. I can't with the AI models. Oh my God.
And you wish some of them were true, but that's not real. There's just no way that can be real.
That's why I like to do so many in-person things. That's why I like to do Runway. That's why I like this podcast, because it's real. It's not manipulated. You can't Photoshop us, right? I mean, what's happening is a real exchange, it's real connection, and it's not perfect like these AI images, and that's great.
God knows I'm not perfect. Let me tell you.
Ditto.
So now, what is next?
Yes. So, and thanks for sharing the scout information. I don't think a lot of people know, from a scout's perspective, what it's like to scout someone. And going into scouting, I know some people have got scouted and then they get to the agency for the interview and the agency doesn't pick them up and they feel like they've been duped. But the scout is just saying, I think you might be a fit for the agency, right? You're not guaranteeing them a contract.
And just realize we are all not stalkers. We're just trying to do our job, okay?
Right. Yeah.
We're not stalkers.
So getting scouted is one step. It's not I've been discovered. It's gets you to an agency, which is great. It is great. That's probably the best way in the door if a scout finds you.
Yes.
But it's not always a yes. So that's something to remember too.
If you can say you're a photographer X told me to come talk to you. Mm-hmm. A recommendation was always get you in the door. It will get you noticed more than just somebody walking in off of the street.
Yeah.
Don't know who you are. Nothing,
yes.
Okay?
Yes. Right. Absolutely. Because you vetted. And you know what? People like to have other people do their job. So that's my theory. Right. So you've done some of their work for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly right. Okay. What do we have next?
Okay. So we've kind of gone over that. How to check out if a scout is legit.
We know that.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about that. Okay, so casting calls. I had someone actually approach about being on this show, and they said they had been invited to I think it was called a model showcase in Paris. Well, come to find out, that's a paid casting call. All right, you pay to be. Hopefully, you pay to be in front of a bunch of casting agents and agencies.
Wow.
But that is not something to put on your CV as though you know what I'm saying? They were using it to say like I am this level of model. All that is a casting opportunity, and you have to watch out for these paid casting events because they can be just almost like human puppy mills. They just bring people through and get them to pay, and yes, they'll sign some people, but the vast majority aren't going to get much of anything, and they've paid to get in the door. And they will, do a walk or do, maybe a short interview or get in the room with some casting agents or maybe even with just a bunch of people, and there's no guarantee. And I don't like when it's paid. If people are legitimately, like, agencies want to get together and be like, we want to see the models in the area, we'll invest ourselves because it's our business, right? They should be investing, not the model, right? So anytime the model is twisted that they have to pay, watch out, you know.
And if a photographer is not working that much on that side of the modeling industry, runway, fashion,
Yes.
how will we know that this is not maybe on the up and up? Is there any way we can know?
Right. The Google is maybe your best friend, but you wouldn't even know to look in some ways. I knew because there were some other indicators, but it would just be, it's just kind of, it sounded like, you know, I was chosen to be part of this model showcase. Well, okay, yeah, you were selected, but you paid, and you also have to pay to get to Paris. Like, it's not like, so that sounds really good to a photographer because you think this person's really experienced and they've won this role. Well, no, you've paid to, so they're misrepresenting their experience, and it's hard for photographers when someone gets on set and they're not experienced, and then the photographer has to do the work of a kind of a model and a photographer being like, okay, you need to move your, do you understand? You need to angle towards the light. You need to look towards the light. You need to, you know, move your left arm. You need to move your arms away from your body. Like, it's not your job to direct, is my deal.
And usually if you run into a model with that kind of a background, the only way they will work for you, unless you are a very notable photographer in the business, is you will be paying them. So how can you justify paying a model when you've got to show them and teach them how to pose, how to look, how to do this, how to do that? I mean, you kind of wonder, okay, if you did all of this in Paris, if you did all of this in wherever, you should know how to do this.
Right.
Why don't you?
Even if it's a TFP, you should know how to do this, you know? And I actually do a lot of test shoot TFP because I like to partner with different photographers, but mostly, I guess I don't even think about getting paid because I think about it as an exchange, of even exchange.
Right.
But if you are asking to be paid, you better be ready to do all of the work and to shine, right?
Yes.
To be a publication level working model representation on set.
If you want to be paid, you should be able to do everything that a model is required and asked to do, so that all the photographer does is he does all lighting.
Yes.
He does pressing of the shutter on the camera, and that's it. He doesn't have.
He can be on his side of the camera. Right.
Exactly right.
He's not out there, you know, moving, you know, things. Yeah.
That's what he's paying you for.
Yes, yes. And it looks bad for models, and it breaks down trust between models and photographers, which I don't like because I see us as great allies. And, you know, I was working with someone and she said she had walked for Chanel. No, she did not. She did not do that. Chanel is like probably the top 5, maybe even higher fashion brands. To say you walk for Chanel means you are on a global stage in Milan, New York, Paris, and you're actually walking the catwalk. It's a stage production. It's a big deal. Like Kendall Jenner had to work up to that, you know? So for someone in a local market to say they did that when actually they just were in a department store holding a Chanel bag, like that's really a disservice to other models who have actually done big stuff before too. It's like, no, I mean, it would be like saying you're, you know, a PhD when you haven't done, you know, you haven't passed your exams. Like you can't just make these claims, because that's a really, really big point of pride, a really great place to get, almost the Olympics of modeling. So just to casually toss it off and say that's one of your things on your CV is not fair to the photographer, because you'll be like, great, she's going to be wonderful on set, you know, if she's walked for Chanel. So watch for the language. And I would also say, look at the magazines. Look at the magazines that they say they are in, right? So they, the model will say, oh, I'm in this magazine. Well, you Google that magazine and it's a pay to participate or a pay to play. That means she is paid to be in this magazine. Again, what's the principle? You don't pay to model, right? So like the idea that she's using this as a strut on her resume when she paid to place it on the resume is not earning that.
Right.
So you see that's also very mixed up, because how would you really know to see if the magazine is real or not? You assume you see kind of a legitimate cover and you're like, oh, well, she got into a couple of magazines. That's great. I should work with her.
Exactly right.
And so it's tough, because that, again, doesn't look good for models. And so the best thing that, I guess this is a reverse scam, really.
Yes, it is.
We're talking about reverse scams here.
Yes, it is.
The best thing for photographers to do is to, do a little bit of homework on the model. Like you're saying, if something seems too good to be true, that a model in Middle Tennessee local market walked for Chanel, I don't know. Maybe look into that, right? Because she didn't have any other ads too. Like Chanel scooped her up and like with no previous work at all, no work. So look for indications of that, weird holes in the resume, and then also if the magazine isn't something you've heard of, look it up. Look up pay to participate and see if they've paid to place themselves there.
That is very good advice. Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't think we were going to go into reverse scams, but yes.
You never know where the show go to, let me tell you.
Yes, and just to get back to the casting calls, there's a lot of pressure sales there where we want you to use this photographer. His package is $700. He's going to take care of all your pictures, but you have to use him. Or come to our classes. It's $3,000.
Yes.
So you need to do that before we think about you in the agency. These are not legitimate ways into the field, basically. And it's also when you're in that environment of casting call and you're in a big conference center and it's exciting and there's a runway and you think I'm going to be, that's when they make the big sales. So watch out for that. Okay, we talked about that. Breaking you down. Okay. So sometimes, you will come to, how do we put it? Like an illegitimate agency.
Okay.
And they will have a catwalk set up, and they will just it'll just be an orientation. Everyone's probably not modeled yet before, and they'll say, okay, you're each going to go down the runway, and they turn on this music and they change the beats and all this stuff, and they expect you to walk it, and you do walk it, but you do terrible, and they're like, see, you really need our help. They almost like embarrass you.
Yeah.
And you're like in front of everybody, right? So they do the pressure sales where it's like, you need to be ready to be on the runway. We can teach you. Like, you need our help. Or you don't know how to do your hair and makeup properly. We can teach you. When you can do a lot of your own work. And sometimes they will even get to the point where where they're critiquing you pretty harshly about like your look or the way you're posing or something. They're breaking you down so that you feel that, oh, I need their help, and it breaks down your own self-esteem so that you are more apt to give them what they want, the money.
Or do they break your confidence down so bad that I don't have a chance for this, I'm going back home, I don't belong here?
Yes. Well, it's kind of an interesting mix, because I feel like I've seen some of this, and they'll do a lot of the harsh, but then they'll kind of come in at the end like a mother bird and be like, this is the place where you can grow and learn, and you do have a long way to go, but we can develop you over the months or years, and what do you know? You're paying over the months and years, and they probably, an agent knows the market really well, and they know right now if you're going to get work or not. They know, right? So they bring you through all these classes, and maybe they put you on the model board, maybe they don't. But they put you on the model board knowing that you're probably not ever going to get cast, right? So, agent's job is to know the market, and they know. That's the thing. That's what upsets me, is like they pretty much know what's going to work in their area, especially the small markets, because there's only a few agencies and they've kind of got the whole thing wired. All of the people who usually advertise and what they usually want and the looks they want. So for them to accept money from people knowing that this is not, a generally good fit for the market, even though the modeling parameters are getting wider, but still, they're basically just taking the money. Yeah.
And if you don't actually see yourself being pushed in advertising, and I mean that if you don't see yourself being advertised by the agency, this is our newest model. She's available for so and so and so and so. If you never see yourself advertised by your agency,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many agencies do that so much, but I think that most agencies are supposed to be supporting you. You're not supposed to be paying them. In fact, they used to develop models. They used to give you classes and they used to train you and get you all ready for the field. Now that's kind of your responsibility, but you certainly aren't paying. Like, what job do you go on and go through training and pay to train? You know,
Right.
I mean, any job, they're paying you for training. Otherwise, it's free work.
Maybe getting a little bit off topic here, but I've seen every so often one agency will say, congratulations to X model for landing this role on this TV series or something like that. So that's what I was referring to. You need to be sure that your agency is trying to build you up.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Yes, for sure. And it's really cool to see that happening. When it's you yourself or your friends, your fellow models,
Yes.
you know, oh, you just landed, this, you landed this car dealership commercial, or you landed a role
Yes.
in Nashville 911.
Yes.
It's cool and it's encouraging for everyone. It's like
Yes, it is.
win-win-win for everyone in our agency. And I consider agency like a type of team, right? So if they're winning, that's great. That means the role wasn't for me,
Right.
and if it couldn't have been me, I'm glad it's you.
Right.
That's the basic way I try to see it. I have a really good friend, Isabella, who is a model, and she gets booked all the time. And it's just like, I'm sure we go up for the same roles, and sometimes we're on the same set. It's funny, like, or I'll be there, and the photographer will have her picture up from the day before, so it's kind of passing.
Oh, you again. Come on.
I love it. But, maybe we go up for the same roles, but I'm like, if it can't be me, girl, I hope it's you,
Right.
because, we're friends, but also you want what's best for your colleagues and what's best, and even best for the agency, because I care about the people in my agency. I care about the people who run it, They've known me since I was 17.
Wow.
So it's really cool to see those wins. And I think it's a wonderful thing to see those pop up on Facebook,
Yes, it is.
And it's so cool to see what people are getting and what roles even with the agencies landing, to cast,
Yes.
So yeah, that's really cool. It's awesome. We are looking for models at every stage of the journey. So we are looking, if you are an aspiring model, we want to talk to you. If you are someone who's 1 year in, which is the first year, I think is the hardest. If you are a seasoned model and you've been doing it for 30 years, we're here to support and share the journey of modeling at every stage with our audience. So it's not like we expect you to come in and have all of these credits, right? We want people
Right.
at every stage, because there are people out there who are at every stage. So
Right.
we do not expect or say that you have to be some widely publicized model. You could just be someone who's interested in, has questions, right?
Right.
So that's our position here, which we want to be able to inform and elevate the modeling fields.
And that is probably the main reason why I begun this podcast is I wanted to help, as I refer to you, a newbie, someone just getting started but don't know how. You can come here and ask us any question you want. I will give you the photographer's viewpoint. Kat can give you the model's viewpoint.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to lie to you. We would tell you what it is as we know it, okay? Because you've got to get good sound advice from somewhere, and who better to get that advice from than somebody that has been in the business over 20 years,
Yeah.
has been in the business. I mean, we can tell you what you are facing, okay?
Yeah, and it might not always be great news, but we will try to problem solve with you. And so what I'm saying, what we're saying is that we are inviting people, not just in this area, hey, if you want to travel to the Nashville area, to come and share your experience as a model, because it is a difficult, super saturated, competitive field. And I think that there is a gaping hole of lack of information out there, and it is often filled with scams. And I do
Right.
not appreciate that, especially for new models. And so we want to fill that with information and support and community. So please reach out to us if you are interested in talking about wherever you are in your modeling journey.
And also, this is not just for models, also for photographers, okay?
True.
Because we all got to get started somewhere, somehow. Somebody's got to be willing to teach. Somebody's got to be willing to share their secrets a little bit. May not share everything, but they'll share enough to get you started on your own journey.
Yeah.
But this is, in my mind, it will always be the best place to come, learn, and ask questions that you want answers to.
Yes.
Plain and simple.
Yes. And I have a big heart for photographers because I would not be anywhere without them. And I love to hear about photographers' point of view, what they're seeing through the lens, what models could be doing better, how we could work as a team better. Because it's really, I don't know much about photography, and I'm actually going to start learning a lot more because I decided I want to control more of my editing. So I'm getting some more lights. Brody's going to help me with figuring out a camera to get so that I can be more informed, because there are so many options now with editing software and with, there's always been options with lighting and diffusers and modifiers and all that. And I'm jumping into that world, but it can be very confusing, especially when you start. And so I love the idea of photographers being on here saying, hey, I would love it if a model would do this, or let me give you the best tip for, if you want to run through a series of poses. And then hair and makeup, so essential.
Makeup artist, yes.
Oh my God. Yes. I would love to have the talent that it's a true art. It's a true art.
It is. Yes.
Because they're taking a face and almost making a different type, moving it towards a different type of face. And they're doing that with someone who, they have to work with all kinds of personalities. They have to work live. They have to work fast. And so we're also looking for HMUs to come on and even do something live, on set.
Yes.
Show your skill that way. And as well as agents and agency directors. We want the whole crew in here.
In an upcoming episode, I actually have already got confirmed a traveling makeup artist.
Oh, cool.
So it's going to be interesting to know the life of a traveling makeup artist going from one city to the other.
Yes.
Don't know who you're going to be working with.
Yes.
I mean, it's going to be so many questions that I've got for her. I think she's based out in Hollywood, California. She's traveling through the area, so
I love it. You nabbed her. That's great. And I would love to see her pack. She must have such a great mobile pack to go with her. I firmly believe in a good model bag, and I can't even imagine the level of organization you have to have as an HMU to get all of your makeup safely around the country.
A traveling gypsy, shall we say?
Well, I mean, is she? Where's she from? She's from California.
Hollywood, California. Yes.
And so I have so many questions already. Like, she. How did she get started? How does she get gigs? Like, does she move in a certain seasonal path? Like, this is cool. This is very cool.
My mind's already running with questions to ask her. I know I cannot get everything asked in one solid hour with her demonstrating, maybe telling stories that she has accumulated over the past. But
I'm sure she's got to get some good anonymous stories too of like, there's a famous person who had a breakdown. Yeah.
Yes.
And I would ask her to bring in her rolling bag, because that's fascinating. I want to see that. Like, yeah, because you have to have so many things in place, and there's so much. I mean, that's so much smaller stuff than I have to carry around. And my model bag; it's almost like a hardware store in there. Anything can be done with with those mega clips and it's the 3M DuraPure tape that is stronger than toupee tape.
Wow.
And it will hold a belt to you. It will hold anything anywhere. And it's medical grade. That's what I keep on me. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. I have a whole I'm ready for any scenario. I've got Dawn dish detergent. I've got baby oil. I've got, I've got Tide. I just for anything to happen, because I want to be the one on the scene who can help if something spills, or if we have a designer dress and something gets on it, to be the one kind of coming. I'm like a Girl Scout. I'm a Girl Scout on the model scene.
Always be prepared, huh?
Be prepared.
Be
Yes.
prepared.
Yes.
Okay, we have gotten off the topic here. Let's kind of
Veer
get back
back.
on the show
Okay.
here.
Okay. Okay. How to protect yourself. We talked about that a bit. Just consider yourself your own private investigator for your own safety and your own bank account. Okay, yeah. So don't be afraid to reach out to a veteran in the business to check out the veracity of a message you received. So I think I told you that I had reached out to Brody when I got a message that seemed too good to be true, mostly because they were giving the model a lot of consideration, a lot of nice things. And I'm like, that doesn't happen. You get like a 2-line email and you just go.
Yeah.
But I was like, is this, it's the way it was worded, it sounded like an opportunity, and I was like, but something didn't seem right. And so I sent it over to Brody Hall, who's been in the business, decades
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Wonderful friend and photographer in this area. And he was like, nope. Cancel that right now, erase that. So if you can find someone, someone that in the business, even if you want to check with the Better Business Bureau of your area,
Right.
do your research, because it's so much better to do that than spend your money on nothing or be put in a dangerous situation.
And there are a number of models that does the same thing like you just mentioned. I've got 2 right offhand that I know that every time they get contact from somebody new, hey Eric,
oh yeah,
this guy just contacted me. Who is he?
Yeah.
What do you know about him? I'm like, well, not much. No, because first time I know nothing about him. So
yes, and it's hard when you're doing TFPs because you don't know. I mean, you're all on this collective Facebook page, which I trust too much probably as a very friendly community. But I mean, this winter I got totally screwed over by one who didn't even give the images back, and a TFP, like it's time for print, right? So I gave my time for almost 2 hours and never got prints. And so now I will have a contract. I will do an interview. You've got to be aware at every stage, you just can't trust people just because they're in the area, right? Just because someone's on that Facebook page, the Tennessee Models and Photographers, doesn't mean they're legitimate or that they're fair.
And we, as a photographer, also we check models because we see copyright images that you have done. Mm-hmm. So we may be interested in working with you. So we say, okay, I know this guy. Let me call him up and see what kind of model you are. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And so how are you to work with?
Right.
Yeah.
Checking references goes both ways.
Great. It should. Yeah. I mean, you checked me before I came on the show with Brody.
Sure did.
He's a great source in this area.
Yes,
I can't say enough good things about him. He's so nice. Okay. So, and so you can do a search for the name of the agency they give you and scams, complaints, or fraud. Those will kick up. What those will kick up are Reddits and Facebook pages. There was one person who said there was a whole hate Facebook page for this one production company because they were so bad to the people that they worked with, that they created, so look for that. Yeah. Do those kind of searches. Of course the Facebook rating and Model Alliance also does some kind of like a clearinghouse of all the modeling agencies. So that can be helpful if you really want to look up the standing of a modeling agency.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And and Model Alliance also does some stuff just to provide resources for models as they're going through their journey, which I didn't even know this existed.
I didn't either.
So they have a lot of cool things on their website.
Modelalliance.org.
.org. Yep.
Okay.
So that's just another resource. Yeah. Like I said, it's few and far between with these type of resources. So snap it up. Modelalliance.org. So these are just some of the things that they talk about, particularly with AI coming through and not knowing a lot about that.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also protecting models with the laws that protect models. It can get working conditions can slide very fast on a set, and especially on location. And, sometimes the pay is late, sometimes you have to chase the pay. Right. So there's a lot of things that could be protected by laws. Yeah. And you can actually ask them, is this a scam or is this a known scam? So I think it's great to have something like this around for people to just rely on as a kind of central source that is just for models.
Yes. And it's always good if you as a model talk to other models constantly.
Yes, constantly. Yeah. Yeah. It's my favorite thing. Yeah. I love talking about what's happened on the set, or, what are you doing? What was that like? I remember coming home, I think it was the first year, coming home from a Yamaha shoot in Florida, and just coming back and feeling like, okay, this is like legit. Like I'm like, feel like a model now. Someone has taken their time and money to bring me there. This is a pretty big brand, and now I've done that modeling for them, and it feels really good. And I kind of said that to my friend Isabella, and and she's like, yeah. When I came home from one of my trips, she's like, I kind of felt like that's when I became legitimate, and that moment is like so special. So you want to share that with your fellow models, and practice together, practice posing together, or just even get together and work on your portfolios or kindly critique each other's stuff, because really it's very hard to critique your own images. It's good. You must, but it's better if you give it many, many days, even a month or so, before you look at the image and really judge it for what it is. Because when you have that space, you're more objective. As time goes by, you're like, no, that lighting was not a good thing for me. So I've unfortunately experienced that a lot. Pull it off of Instagram. Don't be so quick to post. But you have someone who's for you, and they can help cull your portfolio, because as you get more work, you're like, well, what comes, what stays in, what goes out, what best represents me, and that's when your fellow models can really help.
And it's also best if you have someone with an unbiased opinion, because you may fall in love with an image.
Right.
And they see some of the detail. Well, now, what about this I'm seeing over here? I mean, could you have done this a little differently? Could you have done that a little differently?
Yeah.
Make this image just a little bit better? Like, well, yeah, after you brought that up, I probably could, And
then you will never not see that issue.
Exactly right.
Like they'll see, well, you had clenched your foot, and that's, the image is gone,
Right.
Unless it becomes a 3/4 shot, but for you will always see that but it will correct you. That's the cool thing. That's the biggest learning point, is when someone looks at your picture and says, you need to get your chin down more.
Yes.
And boy, will that stick with you. Yeah. In the next shoot.
So many times I see good images that I'm looking up somebody's nose. Well, in some instances that may be okay, but not every single time, okay?
Yeah.
Learn how to position your head so you're not looking up somebody's nose, okay?
Yes. Believe me. Yeah. And just the idea of having a shutter, right? A shutter attached to your phone that actually takes pictures of you while you're posing.
Yes.
That's the best intel you can get at your own house on a blank wall. You don't have to have a studio. You don't have to have lights. But just watching yourself go through poses is so helpful. And like, we as models should be doing that pretty much multiple times a week, because when we get on set, we need to just roll.
Right.
And I like to see it more as dancing, actually, more like dancing through the moves and don't stop the movement. So I'm not like jerking in this and that. Like, it's more of like a full movement, but slow so that it can be caught.
Yes. Many times a model will do, like you just said, just herky-jerky, or they'll do so fast that you cannot get a clear image.
Right. You got to hold it a little.
Right.
Give you a chance. Yeah. And then subtle changes, small changes. moving the arm a little, shifting the weight, tilting the head. Those are, you don't have to have a brand new pose every second.
I always use this trick, and it seemed to work. I would always tell the model, 1, 2, 3, click. 1, 2, 3, click.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, click.
Think of it that way. Yes. Right.
Right now, even though you are working like a crazy cat,
Yes.
it's time for
Happy
you to give out your social media handles for the people that want to work with you, okay?
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Hi, I'm Kat Westerway. I'm a model, actress, and voice actor. And my niche is hotel and resort modeling. I love to go into a property and really unpack it, tell its story, and soak in the amenities, speak with the other guests. And I would love to come to your hotel or resort and really dig in and see what the story is of your hotel. And every hotel has a story, and I would be honored to tell yours. I'm at Book the Catwalk. That's Book the K-A-T Walk. Book the Catwalk on Instagram. And you can also reach me at bookthecatwalk.com, coming soon.
Thank you, Kat. And I'm sure you have gotten offers out of the world for your modeling services, your modeling expertise, your coaching even, okay?
Yes, coaching. That's been fun. Yes, yeah. Never thought that would come. Someone asked me, and I was like, yep, I'll do it. I guess if I can teach college, I'll just, I made up my own curriculum. It was really fun.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cut this episode a little bit short because we've got 2 special announcements. First one I would do, and the second one would be Kat's. The first one, my co-host, since we last saw her on the show, she has actually celebrated the anniversary of her 21st birthday.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Multiple anniversaries, many anniversaries. Yes.
Notice that word there. Okay.
Many.
So to honor that monumentous occasion, and to show her that she has been a very welcomed addition to the Model Connection podcast, I took it upon myself to actually try to get her a present. So, Kat,
thank you so much.
This is for you from the Model Connection podcast.
Thank you so much.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. I'm accepting gifts all month, and I'm registered at Bloomingdale's. All of June is my birthday. Okay. All right. Let's see this. Okay. Oh, Eric, what do we got here? Oh, this is adorable. Oh my gosh. Is this is a podcast room? Oh
yes,
my gosh.
Yes,
oh, this is so cool. The mixing board, the headphones, the mic. I love it. And my name's on the front of it. Oh my gosh. Can you zoom in on this? Can you zoom in on this little? No, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I love this. Thank you. You had this made for me. This is awesome. I love it. Thank you so much.
You're very well. That's how much you meant to the podcast, okay? And I just want you to know that you are appreciated.
Thank you. So I feel that. Thank you so much. This is mantle material.
or a paperweight, okay? Whichever comes.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I actually really do love it for a paperweight because it's like got the clear sides. It looks like one. Okay, thank you so much. And you personalized it. That's so sweet.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, now, so it's your turn.
Okay.
Here comes the hard part.
Yes. So I've been working but some years to try and get to this point in my career where I'm so busy that I'm getting bookings multiple times a week and I'm traveling in and out of town. And that, along with coaching, has now started, and picking up some acting work. I just joined a acting kind of like program too. So as my career is like launching, and I'm shooting in Nashville. I actually live in Knoxville. So
and that is what, 2 hours away?
Oh, 2.5.
3 hours.
Yeah. So it's I do not any longer have the time to do this podcast, which is very, it was a tough choice to make because this has been so amazing. Working with Eric has been wonderful. He's been so welcoming. He's taught me a lot. The studio, Bungalow Studios, has been so accommodating, especially for my lack of tech skills. They jump in all the time. Like these don't happen from nowhere. They don't have these slideshows. I get a lot of help. But as things, kind of the investment that I made in my modeling gear is kind of paying off now. I do not have the time that I can predict to come to Nashville, to drive to Nashville every week. So is kind of like 6 hours alone, the drive. And the big problem is I don't know, now I'm getting booked left and right, and I don't know how to say that I'm going to be here. And that's a problem with scheduling guests. That's a problem with scheduling a studio. But it took some time to decide because I have really thrown myself into this and really enjoy just all the topics we talk about, the people we've had on. Eric has been so supportive of me as far as like coming up with ideas and just sharing the show that is his baby with me. So it is very difficult to leave this show. I just had to make the choice to kind of continue the career that I had worked hard to get going to this point. So I will definitely be watching and cheering on. And I just want to say that if you are interested in, possibly co-hosting with him, it is a real honor to work with someone who is so just affirmative and encouraging and open. So if you're interested in that, I encourage you to reach out. If you are, if you are planted in the modeling industry and you have a lot that you think about and research and want to talk about, this may be the role for you. So reach out to us. And Eric, it is so nice to have done this trip with you. You've worked hard to get the show to this point. As we saw in your episode, you have a lot of people who admire and support you for this work, and you are a hub. This is a necessary hub for models because, as we said, there's not a lot of legitimate places to get information and support, and what we hope will be a community. So thank you for that role, and thank you for trusting me and having me on as your partner.
You are about to make a grown man cry. Let me tell you. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
You were the missing piece of the puzzle. Now I guess I got to find another piece.
You got to find another piece. Yep.
But I will be winging it by myself until that piece appears.
And I think you will know who that person is because I feel like you, more than anything, you are a good listener and you're very present with people. So when you do meet them or interview them, just trust your gut on it,
I'll know when it happens.
Yeah, yeah. And, I'll be watching. We talked about me consulting.
Yeah, sure did.
Yep.
So, Kat, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this chance. Yes. Oh, thanks.
Yep. Thank you.